Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. It's me, Bernard, your favorite GeoGebra teacher, and today I'm here to help you understand and know how to use sliders to create or construct a triangle. Use sliders to create a point, and then out of that, you construct a triangle. And also, the second thing I'll like to teach you is um, what do you call it? How to use how to reflect the triangle you have created. So we begin by creating sliders. When I said the first aim of us doing this is for us to use sliders to create what? A point. And out of that, we can what? Create a triangle. So I create my first slider A, my second slider B, 1 to 5, with a maximum 1 to 5, with an increment of 0.01. So now I want you to watch this. When I'm going to use these two to create a point. I'm going to use these two to create a point. Okay, so I have um, my point with A as my X and Y and B as my what? Y. So now the amazing thing about this is that when I move my A, it drags the point horizontally. That means responsible for the movement of the point, the movement of the horizontal movement of the point, whilst B is responsible for what? The vertical movement of the point. Good. So now I have my point what? A. Let me show label. Good. So I'm going to use these same sliders to create what? Create two different what? Points in addition. So my slider C with the same increment from 1 to 0.01 and another slider from 1 to 5 from with an increment of 0.01. And I'm going to use these two to create a point. So C and D, slider C and D to create my new point, what? B, which is shown here. Good. So you can see that C is what's responsible for what? The horizontal movement, whilst B is responsible for what? For the vertical movement of the point. So that's my new point, what? B. And my last point, by creating two other sliders. Slider E, 1 to 5 with an increment of 0.01. Good. Another slider, 1 to 5 with an increment of what? 0.01. Good. And I'm going to create a point with this two. So E, comma F. Good. So let me move it horizontally, then vertically, then horizontally. Good. So now I have these two what? These 3 points created by what? My sliders. Good. Let me show label. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a polygon out of these 3 points. So I'll move from a polygon A, B, C. And I'm moving from A to B to C. Good. So now, with these three, let me measure with these three, let me animate it for you to see. Good. So this is how the three what points are being regulated. with respect to what the sliders. So now, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to reflect these points. So I'm just going to reflect my object. Sorry, not my points. My object with respect to what the y-axis. So my object, which is named what T1, respect to what the y-axis. So now, how do I know that it's the same thing that is here? What I'm going to do is I'm going to measure the angles formed in the original one and measure the angles formed in what? The reflected one. You find out that they are the same. Get it? They are the same. So therefore, it's the same what? Triangle I have reflected. Then I'm going to reflect it with respect to what? The x-axis. So I have my object T1 being reflected by the line what? Reflected by the line by the x-axis. So I have what is being reflected here. And let's measure them to see if it's the same. So we measure this to see if it's the same. Find out that the angle formed at A is 59.84, the same for A prime and the rest. So now what I want you to notice here is that whatever I do to the original triangle happens to what? To the replicated what? Angles. Whatever I do to the original triangles happens to the replicated triangles. And before I go there, let me change the color for you to see the difference. Blue. That's the first one. And the second one, which is green. So now let me animate them for you to see. So A is moving with respect to what? A1 prime is moving with respect to what? Our A. Whilst the other points, the other 2 points are also doing same. So this is how to use sliders to construct a triangle, and out of that, you're able to what? To reflect them for you to see how they work. So